as you start cooking it, after a while, your eyes start to really tear up, because of all the onions and garlic. The your halfling companion comes up and stands behind you, sort of looking over you as you're cooking this, and you can hear him go tisk 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 as you throw more garlic into the pot. You hear him go tisk tisk
What do
tisk.
you mean throw more garlic?
I love how
I was
how you literally have a halfling friend.
I was
Okay,
only going to put a little piece of garlic.
You rolled a wisdom of 6. I'm gonna tell you based on the ability roll I've decided is wisdom. Basically, you're just like improvising this point. Like you're like, oh, okay,
More garlic.
maybe it's not really the right color now. It sort of still looks like water. I'll put in some more garlic, and you keep throwing in garlic, and then and all you can hear is the halfling going tisk 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 standing behind you. And then once you figure it's done, you pour it into some bowls, some wooden bowls that are around, and it looks sort of just like a murky water.
It doesn't have to look good. It just has to provide the calorie.
Okay. You hand a bowl to your halfling companion first. He takes a sip of it, and you can hear him make sort of like a grunting or grumbling noise. He's like, as he takes another sip, and he looks at you, and he raises his right thumb, and sort of makes like a pretend smile on his face. It's really good.
Oh god.
Do you take a sip of it yourself?
Well, it was originally just for me, but yeah.
I mean, you made enough for everyone, I assume.
Sure, I guess. Okay, let's just eat this stuff.
Yeah, it tastes like an oniony.
Oniony water or something.
It tastes like a stinky stinky water, basically. Like something about the consistency is not right, and there's still cut up pieces of onions just floating around in it, and cut up cloves of garlic, floating around in it, mushy. It doesn't taste very good at all, but at least your hunger has been satiated.
I wonder if I could try to rescue
it, and they don't seem to mind at all.
I wonder if I could rescue it or not.
Flashbacks to Vietnam.
That'd be kind of funny. I need to ask, like, could I use my intelligence to see if I could rescue this?
You can use wisdom to see if you can rescue Hilliard's ratatouille. Ratatouille. Make a wisdom roll.
I'm actually surprised, like, intelligence.
Book learning's not gonna help you here, Windrew.
Wait.
Explain to me how book learning helps you with the.
Well, you actually knowing, like, hey, you know, if you actually put too much spices in there, you can actually separate it out by using a bit of sugar.
That's what you're describing there is wisdom.
Okay, then what you said, book learning.
Book learning. Well, book learning is intelligence. So make a wisdom roll, or make a better case for the fact that it should be okay. Let's see. Yeah, you go over, and after Hilliard and the halfling have taken bits of soup, you start you go over, you start mixing it again. You stoke the fire with some more logs, and you put in some more water, and you are able to scrounge around the bins around the room and find a few other odds and ends things, and you manage to fix the soup so that when you put the ladle in and take a little sip of it, it is at least creamy. It still doesn't taste great because you're working from sort of a botched base, but it at least tastes somewhat creamy, and at least is a bit more appetizing.
Oh.
Let's see, what's like a halfling's thought on this?
He tastes it and says, "Oh yeah, you really added your own take to it. Still not quite how I would have done it, but that's you added your own take to it."
Well,
as he sort of says it in a way where he's trying not to insult Hilliard's initial soup. But he's like, "Oh yeah," but he's also trying to like wink at you, like, Yeah, you really actually made this thing bearable. As he takes some more sips. Again, the dwarves ask him for second helpings and don't seem to care about the taste at all. Like they're just like gulping this stuff down, pretty much.
GG's.
They're like, "Oh yeah, this is really really good," and they don't seem to be like sarcastically joking with you either. They're just like, "Oh, this is really good. It's like home cooked, you know."
I guess it's
So
like,
good.
kind of base taste, which is, like different taste buds,
Yeah, dwarves are not known for in this D&D universe that I've created. Well, in this setting, I guess I'm gonna say that
To
dwarves are
have
not
very,
known
like,
for
complex
their.
palates.
No, they don't have a complex palate. They like beer and fried, beer battered
Which, it's
stuff.
fine, because, that's still good,
Beer battered beer.
Oh god, Jesus, beer battered butter.
Beer battered
Yeah,
butter.
beer
You made it even worse.
Okay.
Beer battered butter exists though.
Yeah, as the dwarves are slurping up their soup, the halfling comes over to you. Ah, have you heard about? You might have not known, but there's a
I
famous.
forgot he was here.
Yeah, you forgot your halfling cook was here, and you could have got him to cook for you.
Yeah, I was trying to like explain to him about that. I was going hey, you literally have your halfling friend, to cook.
But your halfling buddy comes over. Have you heard about a dwarven delicacy? Beer. It's called beer battered butter. They take a nice big stick of butter or lard and beer batter it, and they serve it on a stick. It's dwarven carnival food.
Oh god.
Dwarven.
Extremely fat and calorie rich. Oh, it's so good. Beer battered butter. Sometimes they'll put other stuff in it, like they'll put the garlic or herbs inside the butter. Oh, so good. And you can see that the dwarves are like the dwarves are salivating just thinking about their traditional food.
GG.
There we go. Beer battered butter has now become an in-game thing in this universe.
Oh god.
It's too good to pass up on. Anyways, you finish what you can of the soup, what you're able to bear, gulping down. What would you like to do now?
Well, if everything else is done, the only thing left is we're not at, we're half health, so when we still have to go out to the boat.
Still not done.
But we can't really leave for help, but we can't exactly.
One of the dwarves tells you, "Well, you haven't finished looting."
Yeah.
I bet there's still stuff around here to loot.
Yes.
One of the dwarves points out that in the room where you fought the skeletons,
the skelly boys.
That he noticed that when the skeletal alchemist came into the room, there appeared to be a glowing outline on the far wall of the room where the alchemist was coming through. One of the dwarves goes into what appeared to be the wizard's fine bedroom and starts taking books down from his shelves and flipping through them. There still appears to be a number of items in there that have not been examined.
Interesting.
Well, let's see. I guess, when do you want to check out that possible secret area?
Of course.
Okay. As you walk by the bedroom, you see the dwarf has taken down a book off of the wizard's shelf above his bed. That appears to read on its cover, Roguish Ron's erotic poetry, famous collected poetry from across the lands, and the dwarf is like flipping through it, going ooh, and then he seems to pull out some sort of like long insert in the book, and it folds down, and you see some elven woman suggestively, draping off her draping off on her wizarding robe. And he's like, oh.
Oh God.
Uh,
Wynn's like,
This book is actually mentioned in the adventure guide. So this wasn't something I added in myself. This was actually in there. Some writer at D&D put this in there.
GG.
Anyways, you go into the room. You see that it appears to be here, but there's a glowing...
Do you know how much you're...
Oh yeah, I forgot. Before I go into the room, grab that bullseye lantern.
Yeah, you grab the bullseye lantern. You reach to grab the bullseye lantern and oil, which seems to be in a cask below the desk. As you go below the desk, you notice that there's also a small finely carved wooden chest as well, down there as well.
I guess go through the keys that me and Wynn found and see if any of them fit it. If it is locked.
Yeah, you go through the keys, and one of the keys clicks into the lock, and the chest opens. Okay, inside the chest, you find you find a surprising amount of letters, but you also find odd assortment of knickknacks, and also wrapped in a sort of purple velvety cloth, you find a sort of like a sort of opalescent or pearl and a teapot.
GG. Okay.
Do you take any of the items?
Anything that's valuable.
Okay. Looking at the teapot, you are struck by its beauty and think that it's one of the and feel oddly attracted to it.
When what?
What was that noise?
When's like but the second like felt disturbing. It's like except without that
really now.
Oh God.
Oh baby, it's a triple.
Oh, go on.
Oh God. Okay. I put it in my pocket, or not pocket, but I guess backpack?
Okay.
Question mark.
You pick it up. As you pick up the... Let's see here. Okay, never mind. You pick it up and you sense a voice inside your head. Another has picked me up.
Eliminate the Jews.
What? You can't say that on stream, you actual you gotta give me it. The stream has actually been banned.
Oh God.
Oh, go on. Another has picked me up and freed me from this place.
I'm like, what?
Remember, kids, if you don't know what the brain is on something, then that's
just shoot all of it.
When the sound goes quiet.
Did I hear anything, by the way?
Nothing. No, you don't hear anything, Windrew.
When he hears, ooh, there's a bag of hand axes over here.
Wait a minute.
No, you don't. If you do explore the rest of the room, you find a few other books. You find the bullseye lantern.
Okay.
But if you don't investigate any further, you don't find anything else.
All right. Well, I want to investigate
I'll
about
come back.
the ghost body
Okay.
or whatever. Yeah, ghost skeleton
Okay,
body.
you check his body. You find one vial of acid up his sleeve.
I'm gonna actually take this actual cloak from him.
Okay.
Cloak of pedophiles. No,
Cease
just
your
joking.
actual nonsense.
Oh, go on.
Or what do you call it there? Cloak of, not cloak of trolling.
The cloak of trolling. Oh God. So what else would you like to do?
Let's see about these other skelly boys.
Okay. They basically have nothing of value on them.
I'm actually surprised they don't have any swords or junk on them.
They do have swords on them, but their swords literally look like they've been rusted for like hundreds of years. Like their swords are literally like rusted, chipped, have big holes in them. The pommels are rotting away.
I could have done something at this point, but I didn't choose the spell.
All right,
but
so
yeah.
I need to ask, like you two, do you think anyone could make anything of value of these? A good forgeman?
The dwarf said. One of the dwarves says, all dwarves are trained in the arts of blacksmithing to an extent." As he picks up one of the swords and has a look at it for merely a second, but then drops it back in the round. "But these are completely worthless," he says.
Darn! It'd been actually nice to
The metal that's in them is so rusted at this point that even if you melted it down, it would provide no use. The metal is extremely low quality.
That's a shame. Oh well.
He one of the other dwarf picks up the sword and hits it on the stone wall as the brittle metal shatters. He says, "Yeah, these swords are not particularly useful anymore," he says.
I'm actually kind of surprised I survived the fight.
Well, one of the dwarfs says, "Maybe there was some sort of magical binding. Whatever was holding the skeletons maybe was holding their weapons together as well."
More than likely.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's go to the boat, I guess. Or any other room, really.
When we're still missing out on one thing, but... Oh, let me make my way over to the room. Okay, I know I'm doing it.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, kicking.
Okay, you go over there. Let me...
By the way, do you want me to help you investigate or whatever?
Yeah.
Sure, you can come along for the ride, as the saying goes.
Okay.
Oh, I should also mention as well, I'm gonna... The alchemist also has an empty bag of holding on him as well.
Oh, nice. I will take that.
Okay, I was sensing Wind was going to be the one to grab that. And also, as you spend more time in the room feeling up the door, Hilliard, both of you also notice as well that the skeletons you thought each rib one rib each on each of the skeletons seems to be made of gold.
Oh.
Okay, I'll take those.
I'll be taking half of those.
Well, then
we're gonna actually split some of this with the dwarf friends.
Let me cut the bag in half.
As you start looting the skeletal bodies of their gold implants, the dwarf says, I'm not against taking my fair share of the loot, but I don't want implants essentially. I don't want
gold implants.
Someone, Yeah, someone's gold implants. He says. You actually, as the let me see, Appendix B.
I'm kind of wondering if this is what was keeping these ghoulies together. It's a shame I couldn't even be bothered to like waste detect magic as a spell to get, because that's just, I don't know if that.
Okay, you as you reach into the bag of holding, Windrew, you first assume it to be empty, but then your hand comes across a flat gray and black river pebble, and as you pull it out of the bag and look at it, it seems to be inscribed with an unknown arcane symbol. The stone seems unusually cool to the touch.
Unusually cool. Okay. Flat black and gray stone, unusual cool, and has.
You gain advantage on one ability check of your choice while holding this stone. Once, until you take a rest.
All right. Let's see. Gain one advantage.
But this stone also, there appears to be some sort of flip side to this item. As you attune to the magical item, you feel like there's likely some sort of flip side to using this item, but you don't quite know yet what that might be.
Something evil.
This should be interesting.
Anyways, yes, you're feeling up the door. Let's see. Okay. What the heck? Yeah, it doesn't say. Okay. You trace your fingers around the glowing edge of a door, and slowly, as if with magic, the stone fades and leads into another room, which appears to be thusly as I'll describe it. The secret door opens and reveals a clutter of broken glass and earthenware piled on the floor beyond. 3 small copper pots lie amid the debris. If you enter into the room, you see a long bench that runs down the west wall of what seems to be a laboratory. On the bench are jars of powders and liquids and several pieces of chemical apparatus. There is a table against the south wall, forming an L shape with a bench. A book is open on the table. Also on the table is a candlestick with a teeny stump of unlit candle still in it, and a variety of other items that, even in the dim light, as it flickers, shine with the warmth of pure gold.
How many things shine like pure gold?
A number of things. I mean, do you walk over and have a look at them?
I guess time to investigate.
Okay, you walk over to this desk here, where there appears to be a book. Let me see, is it not? Yeah, where there appears to be a book, and behind it, outlined in a semicircle on the desk, a number of golden items. As you enter the room, Windrew, still thumbing over this stone in your hand, the words "Philosopher's Stone" enter and leave your mind.
Oh God.
Equivalent exchange, huh?
On the table, you find a golden human skull, a golden apple, a golden rose, and a set of 5 small golden discs, each appearing to be of a different weight. You also find a number of sacks of coins on the table as well.
It seems like, I hate to say this, but I have the feeling something's off.
I feel great sins here.
When do you want to touch them first?
I'm just gonna touch them with a stick.
One of the dwarves has come in after you and looks at it, and takes one look and then backs out of the room. He's like, nope, this looks like unholy things were going on here, he says.
I guess science is considered unholy.
No, it's because this is freaking alchemy, and you can pretty much tell that something really bad has happened, and it wasn't equivalent to change.
Yeah. You hear the other dwarf, one from the other room, say, I had always heard stories about this ancient mansion that adventurers came here hoping to find a lost treasure of alchemical gold, but to actually know that treasure was true.
Was there anything dangerous that you can recount about this? Or anything that I should know about it?
The other dwarf, sticks his head around the corner of the room and says, well, all I heard from local travelers and strangers since I've been in Saltmarsh about 2 years now was that adventurers would occasionally come up to this mansion hoping to find a stockpile of alchemical gold, because local legends say that this mansion was once owned by a famous local alchemist who tried to turn his skill to creating a philosopher's stone and forging items out of pure gold, but no one knew whether or not that story was true or false. I guess until now.
Jeez. Well, if there's nothing too badly false, I guess I'll just try to carefully pick up, we'll say, the gold. I mean, not gold, it's all gold, but we'll say one of the gold roses.
Okay, there's only a single gold rose. You pick it up. Nothing seems particularly strange about it.
Okay, I start slowly picking the other things up.
Okay, as you pick up the human skull, the apple, and the 5 discs, as well as the bags of coin, you think that these would be worth quite some money, but there doesn't appear to be anything. Nothing appears to possess you as you pick these up. Like you don't feel different after having picked these up.
My only guess is the bad things was the skeletons, and this is just the aftermath of the person's research. There's nothing inherently bad about it except for its origins.
And the guy who was doing the research is the guy probably that
was throwing bloody acid at me.
GG.
There appear to be in this room there appear to be other various filing cabinets and drawers and the like as well.
All right, let's search the drawers right quick.
Start some searching here.
Okay.
Of course, be careful. Of course, for obvious reasons. Even though I don't think there's going to be. Yeah, I think.
As you examine the table with all of the alchemical equipment on it, one, you come to thinking that possibly this alchemical equipment could fetch some gold back in town. You also, as you're feeling underneath the desk, you find a drawer that, when it opens, appears to have a spell book in it.
Oh, let's see what we have here.
Yes, it reveals you've come across a concealed drawer, but the lock appears to have rotted over time. It appears that this was the chemist's own personal spell book. Most of the pages have rotten and turned to sog, and other pages appear to have alchemical gibberish in symbols that you think not even the wisest man alive could understand. But what spells you can make out are thusly dancing lights, comprehend languages, tensor's floating disk, and shatter.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Can you write this down?
Yeah, I'm trying to write this.
I can keep a memory of these as well if you want, but try and write them down as well.
All right. Could you like type them in chat? I guess.
Let me see. I'll put them in your character sheet under your bio. Okay. I'll just put it under like allies, just because I don't know. Just because that's a space where you can write.
I'm glad I've been slowly but surely getting into annotations.
Let's see. And keep in mind too, I don't think you automatically know these spells just because you've gained a spell book. You actually have to spend time and money to transfer these into your own spell book, and then you can use them. If you wanted to use them and not sell the spell book, because you also guess that even in its dilapidated state, the spells contained in the
I'll be
spell
back.
book
All right.
Could still fetch some money.
Some cha-ching.
Some cha-ching. Ching-chong.
Oh god, some cha-ching-chong.
Some cha-ching-chong, yeah.
Some chink-chong, oh god.
Ching-ching-chong, ching-ching-chong.
Dang it, I wanted to say that sounds like a... No, I guess maybe not a machine gun. Ching-ching-ching-chong, ching-ching-ching-chong.
Oh god.
Oh god, yeah. Well, winds away. Is the teapot what I think it is?
Yes.
Only question is, if it were to be dropped, would it break? Or is it magically imbued with indestructibility, I guess you could say?
It's magically imbued with indestructibility with the... So basically with the genie background, I think it says even in the... Yeah, I think it's even says in the class that if you're separated from it for X amount of time, or if it somehow is destroyed, you can perform a 1-hour ritual and summon the item back automatically.
The other thing I keep thinking of, but it's a bad thought, is what happens if someone tries to make tea in it?
I mean, you don't know that. I mean, maybe.
I'm in the pot and all, and then suddenly it's like, what? It's raining. Oh shit! We're drowning. We're drowning.
It's raining, man.
Amen. Oh god.
Oh god. Hallelujah! It's raining, man.
Dang it! Now I got that song stuck in my head.
Oh god. Hallelujah.
Bum 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 bum. Now I got that song stuck in my head now.
Mr. Sandman. Windroom.
If it takes more than one wipe, you're doing it wrong.
Oh god. True.
True words have never been spoken. Oh god.
Mm-hmm. Go on. Windrew, come back. Please, Windrew, come back so we can actually get the party out of this haunted house, and so we don't have to stay in here for like 20 sessions.
Well, I was gonna say most of these goodies will have to probably leave behind because, hey, if this gets brought on any raid, it's gonna be, yeah, chance of losing it.
The bandits are going to look at you. Hey, that guy has a lot of gold on him. Even more incentive to kill him.
Oh god, well. Because I'm still trying to think how I'm gonna do a two. You know, I mean, because we have a small party, a two-person ship raid without the dwarves, because the dwarves are staying behind.
Yeah, the dwarves told you that they only have a limited role. The Geneva Convention on Dwarven combatants only allows them to do certain things.
Oh god.
Bum, 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 bum.
1 hour of shitting later.
1 hour of shitting later. Oh, gosh. Windrew, please. Come back. Anyways, I think, will Wynn's character do anything? Windrew, please.
Oh god, this is a funny meme. I think I might have saw it before, but it's funny still. Posting it in shitpost.
Okay.
Hide your problems. GG.
Let's see. Hi. The four horsemen of not going outside. Oh,
What?
no. That picture that Windrew posted.
The four horsemen is not going outside. Wouldn't be my choice as a weapon, but well. Oh god, they're just all anime girls doing inappropriate shit. GG. Problem is, 4 guns is too much, but if I had to choose 4 guns, I'd probably have an FN FAL, Canadian one, of course. I'm no good with sniper rifles, so fuck that shit. Probably be a FN Mini-Me for automatic firepower. Sidearm, we'll go with something modern, a Glock. And for a spare weapon, shotgun. But for the shotgun, Sega automatic shotgun with a drum.
Ooh, a belt-fed shotgun. That needs to
Oh, I've
exist.
seen that and it's horrible.
Really? That actually exists?
Yeah, someone made a belt-fed shotgun, and it's one of those I built it in my backyard jobs. Not even with other guns, they just built it out of, they took angled metal or angle iron metal and pipes and shit and made one. The thing has an extremely rapid rate of fire and it overheats
Oh, God.
because they didn't build it in such a way that it had a slower rate of fire where like pum pum pum. It was just like Because when you have something like that, that's what you want, a slow rate of fire.
Yeah.
Well, not too slow, but enough to pump out a decent wall of lead.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find the video of it here for you. It's a must see.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't watched it for a long time either. So let's see. Is this the right one? Oh, this is another one, but it's still cool.
See.
It has a jam.
I see. That is
There was
interesting.
another one though that's I'm sure as hell there was another one somewhere that had like a really insane rate of fire. Oh my god. This one's more of just shits and giggles, not real or anything, but still funny.
See.
They just did more of a joke.
Are you back yet, Windrew? No, I guess
20 years later.
20 years later.
20 years later.
20 years later.
I think I know what the problem is with that shotgun there that he made that's automatic. It's probably jamming on the plastic casings. If he went to a full length, you know, the Wild West time period style, or I shouldn't even say Wild West, like pre-plastic era, when they were still made out of long, you know, lengthened pieces of brass, that would probably even feed better. It's probably catching, the heat's catching on the plastic and causing it to jam. But yeah, not really realistic. The only thing that would be good for is if you put it on a vehicle. Put it on the vehicle and anything in front of you. This is more of a zombie situation.
God, vehicle mounted.
Vehicle mounted automatic shotgun. Ta 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 ta. Well, the only thing that it's a plus about it is it's like a Japanese buzz round gun, or in the sense of it's just, if you're not using slugs, it's just the wall of lead to tell, you know, get the fuck out of my way, basically.
Yeah. Or it could be good like a beehive round at like taking out foliage, maybe. I don't know.
All I know is he's got to have had like 2 or 3 shits at this point.
Oh, Windrew.
All around me are Windrew places.
Windrew faces.
Why is it so bad? Ow.
Windrew faces.
Why does it hurt so bad?
Oh, that was the first thing I had to hear when Windrew comes back. Why is it hurt so bad?
You know when you stub your toe on a chair?
Oh, I thought you meant taking a dump. Why did it hurt so bad?
No.
Like, Wind didn't need to know.
Yeah, I'm not that interested, Wind.
I stubbed my toe on a chair. Jeez, what in the world?
Yeah, that hurts. Especially when it's the little toe.
I think like the worst part is because, you know, I just turned off the light and, you know, I didn't expect the chair to suddenly move into my actual foot radius all of a sudden.
Did not expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Reap. You know, like, Hilliard, you know that picture you posted, right?
Which one?
With
dragon one?
With, you know, like that actual dragon from Godzilla.
Hydra problems. I said, you mean the Hydra problems?
Yes.
GG.
What would you do in that situation,
If it was a Hydra and one of, well, I guess it wouldn't be but one of my brother's heads was gay. As long as it wasn't gay for my head.
Like, here's the thing about it, though.
Anyways, the complications
like, the main body, the main head is the one that's gay, so he has control of the body. So.
Oh God, no.
What do you even? What the fuck? I don't even want to know.
You need to
Gay,
learn the
straight-
forbidden knowledge.
Oh, wait, but the gay one is in the middle.
Yes,
and the
he's
two
in
straight
control
ones-
of the body.
Oh, God, no. But he also can do what he. It wouldn't be too bad if the gay was on one side, because then he'd only have access to one of the straight heads. But now the gay has access to both the straight heads.
Oh God.
And what if the body became transgendered, but the other two heads weren't?
Oh God.
The center head. Anyways,
This is almost like Dragon Tales with Zack and
Oh, that's
Wheezy.
anything else you'd like to do in the laboratory room?
Let's see. Well, Hilliard, I guess you can put the stuff in the bag. I guess for now.
Yes, but we should leave some of this more expensive stuff. We shouldn't bring it on the ship, Raid.
Yeah. Well,
I'll just
well,
leave it to
I
that.
do have a literal bag of holding, so.
Yeah, but once they get the bag, they get everything that's in the bag. But anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Whatever. So let's see about the boat, shall we? Should we sail into the sunset back to the city?
No, well, the boat's gonna be full of, baddies.
As you go back out to the main room, the dwarf says to you, "If you're done looking around here, I would recommend we go back into town and see, and tell people about our findings here."
Yeah.
But I say, what about the active hostage situation on the boat?
The
I know.
The dwarf says, "Well, from what I've heard, and I didn't hear much because we were busy fighting in this room, it sounds like they were taken to some sort of a pirate craft. And I don't know about, I don't know about me, but if it was only me and my friend here, I doubt only the two of us could infiltrate a pirate craft."
And unfortunately, they are quite shifty. I would know after
Pirates
being
can be
taken by
quite
them.
resourceful. The other dwarf says he said it might be more useful going into town and bringing these results to the town council.
Yes.
Ever since the execution, the public execution a few days ago, certain members of the council and others around town have really been hoping to score a major crackdown against pirates in the area, and maybe helping you out on your next part of your endeavor might be the crackdown against pirates that they were looking for.
So I guess that's probably all we can do. Is if we go into the city that we hope that the boat doesn't leave,
Yeah.
or figure out something's up.
One of the dwarves asks you, "Well, do you have any information? Do you know how they signal? How they signal the boat?"
No clue.
He says, "Because I assume it's offshore, and to make shipments there, that's what they must use the dinghy for."
Hmm.
The other dwarf says, "And all these casks of fine brandy and cloth as well." As he turns and looks at the other dwarf, "We could bring these into town and attempt to sell these for a hefty price."
I asked him about that, of how he wants, if he's okay with splitting, what do you call it there? Oh yeah, when you're okay with splitting equal
Yes.
shares, right?
Yeah, also, unfortunately, let me think of this right quick. There it is.
Oh yeah, we should also look for the rest of our equipment while we're here and do a general search for our ship to see if it's anywhere around here, so I can get my bow and other equipment back, if possible, but we'll...
Yeah, you find looking around the room, you generally find most all of your equipment, like little knickknacks and stuff you had are scattered and disappeared, but you find everything to be important.
Okay.
The dwarf who was flipping through the books in Sandblatt's bedroom.
Ooh, another nudie bag.
brings out a pile of books and sets them on the table. But as he's walking, a slip of paper appears to fall out from one of the books.
I'd pick it up.
Okay, you have a look at it, and it appears to be a complex diagram of what appears to be a bull's head lantern, and a diagram of a gear and turning mechanism to open and close the shutter on the lantern. Looking at your own lantern, it appears to be the one that's shown in the picture.
Cool beans.
Oh, nice. We could probably get some made or something.
Let's see.
Retire early. Make lanterns for the rest of life.
As you flip the piece of paper over, you see 3 lines of text written. You see one line of text that says long, short, short, short. You see the second line of text says short, short, long. And the third line of text says long, long, long.
GG, and it's on that slip of paper too, you said?
Yeah, it's on the back side of that slip of paper.
Okay. I show Windit and what do you call it there? I'll keep it on myself, I guess, for now. The paper, at least, but I show Windit so he's had a chance to, look at it too, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I say we should probably go through the books to see if there's anything other of interest that's maybe in them later, of course, but I guess we'll bug out for now and take whatever valuables are here and head back into town.
Okay. The dwarves recommend that you take the rowboat back into town because they say that the cart that you were brought here in was of no particular value, and in order to get all of the casks of brandy and rolls of cloth back into town, the boat would really be the best way.
Okay, I guess we load the boat up and prepare for ship-based combat.
Okay. Yeah, you load all of the. What do you prioritize loading? The casks of brandy or the rolls of cloth? Almost all of it can fit on.
Whatever is of highest value.
Whichever ones should be the lightest, you really.
Okay.
Well, I guess true too, light and valuable.
Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You try and put on an even assortment of brandy and cloth. As you start to row back towards town. You notice as well, though, that as you're loading the items, a number of the items, as I said previously, are marked and with the royal seal on them.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask the dwarves about the royal seal. If these are stolen, well, they're probably all stolen goods, but if they're marked royal, that means they should probably be returned to, the king, or at least to royalty.
Let me just see what the royal seal is. The royal seal that is on these that appears to be on many of the casks of brandy and on almost all of the rolls of wool and cloth appears to be a red shield with a black heraldic lion, like one of those British sort of like roaring lions. rearing up in its hind legs. That appears to be the heraldry of the kingdom of Kierland, which is the kingdom that Saltmarsh is in.
Okay, I guess probably when we get back, bring it to what's his name. Well, make sure that we can claim it as. Well, then again, that's the thing. It's stolen stuff, but we got it back. So, anyways, we'll figure out what we do with it when we get back to town.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess roll off to town re-row.
You make your way back to town.
By the way, are we like doing both way, or are we just taking everything on a cart on boat?
No. The dwarves have told you that the cart was of little value, so it's not necessary to take it back.
Okay.
Yeah, so you row back into town and you appear at the main docks of Saltmarsh. Some of the locals look at you as your rickety little dinghy almost appears like it could tip at any moment, loaded to the brim with all of this booty on it. As you make your way to the dock, you tie the rowboat up.
Okay.
One of the dwarves tells you that even though you spoke to him about gaining a section of the loot, he says that because they were here on behalf of Manstrid on official dwarven business, that they're not particularly interested in claiming any of it.
Okay.
Well, I guess they can leave with a cask of booze if they like.
Yeah, okay. One of the dwarves does say, yes, we'll bring this back and present this to Manstrid as a showing of our findings and about the royal fenced goods that we were able to find in there.
Okay, so I don't know what time of day it is. I mean, is it in game?
It's pretty early in the morning. Like it's about 10 o'clock. Like you were in the mansion overnight fighting, pretty much.
Jeez. Okay, then I guess should we maybe ask to see if one of the dwarves could send for? Dang it, I forgot his name again. But the guy that we're working for.
The dwarves say that that's important that they go and speak to Manstrid about their findings, but they wish you the best in your
ventures.
In your adventures.
Okay, maybe I was gonna say when maybe you could go and I'll stay here and guard the booty.
Sure. Just keep me posted, I guess.
Because we're gonna need a cart to move this anyways. GG, but don't know why we didn't take the cart anyways.
Alright, Keegan. Even I'm just almost kind of at that point, I need to ask, like, the stuff on the boat, how much does it weigh?
Significantly more than a human could carry.
But like how much in general? Like, could a dwarf hold it?
Exact numbers? Let me just look here and tell you. Like you find 5 blocks of silk. So what are you getting at? It'd be easier if you told me what you're getting at, because as I said, Like
No, I
you
was
could
just saying
carry
like
maybe
about like moving the stuff. I'm just like going like
yeah,
how heavy they are with
you could carry
transporting.
maybe a cask of brandy. One person could carry either a cask of brandy or a big roll of cloth. Like these are big rolls of cloths, and these are big casks of fine brandy.
Hmm.
It would take some time to move them. One person alone couldn't pick it all up and carry it.
Like, could
Is what I
two
should say.
big, bulky dwarves pick it all up?
No,
The dwarves have to go in.
No, that's just.
no.
I was just curious,
As
you
I
know.
said, as I said, one person will pick up a cask of brandy. It's like a big keg. It's
Hmm.
like a big keg.
Oh, it's a
Um,
keg. Okay, like I didn't
yeah,
really, you know.
so it's like a big cask or keg,
For some
and the
reason, I was
cloth.
thinking of one of the like a metal like container with lots of like glass wine bottles in it. For some reason.
Yeah,
Instead of like a wine keg for some reason. I don't know
yeah,
why.
the rolls of cloth are pretty heavy as well.
How heavy are they apiece?
About as heavy as the big casks of brandy.
Hmm.
It's it's like a really big roll of cloth that you'd use for like sewing at like and with like an industrial scale, pretty much. Like you would feed into a big loom. Of course, the industrial revolution hasn't happened in this universe, but you know
I was about to say,
the the equivalent.
But anyhow,
Well,
is
anyway,
there?
I'm gonna, I guess, go ahead for now or whatever.
But I guess we'll. I got to get going there. So I guess we'll
Already?
continue. Well, we started late when. Well. But I'm not sure if you guys will be on tomorrow. If you want to continue tomorrow, if either of you have time.
Okay, potentially.
Sounds
Yeah.
like potentially you could.
Sounds like a plan of action.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some
But
fun trying to maybe draw the series so far.
Okay. Well, see you then.
All right, see ya.
Okay, but for now, have a good one and cheers.
Night.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.
And then there was only one. Bye. Have a beautiful time.